It was a warm summer evening in New York City. The sun had just set, casting a golden hue over the skyline as city lights flickered to life. The streets were alive with honking taxis, hurried pedestrians, and the distant sound of street musicians playing for loose change. Amidst the chaos, a black and yellow taxi wove its way through the crowded avenues, its driver focused on the road ahead. Inside the cab, Malik, a young driver in his early 30s, glanced at his rearview mirror as his latest passenger settled into the back seat. Dressed in a crisp suit with a demeanor of quiet confidence, the passenger was none other than Morgan Freeman. His deep, soothing voice broke the silence as he gave the address of his destination. "Lincoln Center, please." Malik hesitated for a brief moment before confirming the route. He had always admired Morgan Freeman, not just as an actor, but as a man of wisdom. His voice alone had narrated countless documentaries that had inspired millions, including Malik himself. However, he forced himself to focus on the drive. "Busy night?" Morgan asked casually, looking out at the busy streets. Malik nodded. "Always is in New York, sir." Morgan chuckled. "That's the city for you. Fast-paced, always moving. What about you? You from around here?" Malik exhaled through his nose, gripping the steering wheel a little tighter. "Originally from Ghana. Came here 7 years ago. Still trying to make it, you know?" Morgan nodded knowingly. "That's the story of many. And what is it that you're trying to make?" For a moment, Malik considered brushing off the question with a polite but vague response. But something about Morgan's tone, genuine, patient, and inviting, made him open up. "I want to start my own business, not driving taxis forever. I've been saving up for a small restaurant, just a little place where people can get authentic West African food." Morgan smiled. "Now that's a dream worth chasing." Malik chuckled. "Yeah, well, dreams cost money, and running a taxi isn't exactly filling my pockets." Morgan leaned forward slightly, resting his elbows on his knees. "Tell me, have you written a plan? A real business plan?" Malik hesitated before shaking his head. "Not really, just ideas in my head." Morgan smiled. "Ideas are where it starts, but you need a roadmap. You wouldn't drive in a city like this without knowing where you're going, would you?" Malik let out a small laugh. "Guess not," Morgan continued. "A business is the same. You've got to put it on paper. Know your costs, your market, what makes your food special. Investors don't fund wishes, Malik. They fund plans." The words hit Malik harder than he expected. No one had ever told him that before. He had always thought his passion and hard work would be enough, but hearing it framed this way made him realize he had more work to do. They arrived at Lincoln Center, and Malik pulled the taxi over to the curb. As he reached for the meter, Morgan Freeman stopped him with a raised hand. "Hold on." He pulled out a business card and handed it to Malik. "This is the contact for someone who helps small business owners get started. Tell them I sent you." Malik stared at the card in disbelief. "You'd really do that for me?" Morgan smiled. "Success is meant to be shared. Now go write that plan." With that, he stepped out of the cab and walked towards the entrance of Lincoln Center. Malik sat there for a moment, gripping the business card tightly in his hand. His heart pounded, not from nervousness, but from something he hadn't felt in a long time: hope. A year later, a small but bustling restaurant named Malik's Taste of Ghana opened in the heart of the city. The walls were decorated with photos of Ghana. The rich aroma of West African spices filled the air, and the place buzzed with life. And at the center of it all, Malik stood proudly, watching his dream come to life. Hanging behind the counter in a simple black frame was a business card, Morgan Freeman's. One conversation, one act of kindness, it had changed everything. And that brings us to the end of this story. If you enjoyed this inspiring tale, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories. See you in the next one.